Hello and welcome to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name's Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And this week we share with you all of the latest Disney news. Let's dive in. All right, and this is episode number 230.
Welcome back, as always, everybody.
Welcome back. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah.
250 years this country's been around. Our founding fathers. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal if you're not in the U.S. I know we've got some international listeners, but I'm sure you've heard by now. It's been everywhere. Even the World Cup has been celebrating, but it's a milestone for the U.S. So, some things to be proud of, some things not to be proud of. got a wild history, but here we are, still around 250 years later.
Yeah,
so
we had a great 4th.
Yeah,
actually.
It was fun. It was very, very fun. We're doing family stuff, actually. So we're actually recording the day after 4th of July. So the day before this thing comes out, we're a little last minute this time around. It's just been a busy week and, of course, having some fun.
Yeah.
So making time for that. So this kind of got put on the back burner this week. But yes, recording kind of late, but had a great 4th. We're going to do some family stuff on the 5th. But for the 4th, we hung out with some neighbors. And I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit of I would like to be acquainted with you if we live on the street and be nice and friendly and just say hello. But then I kind of go into my home and don't come out. So I'm not the most outgoing and we're going to just chat it up for 45 minutes. But we met a very nice couple that lives across the street from us that we've been acquainted with all these years, a year and a half or so.
Yeah, ish.
And say hi, hello. They've got a daughter, a little girl around Maddie's age, and just say, hey, how's it going? Da da da. But we talked for hours and hours and hours last night.
Well, we were at a 4th of July party with all of them. We didn't just talk to them for hours.
We didn't just walk out and start talking. Went to a 4th of July party, and then we ended up hanging out and talking to them for ever.
Forever.
So it was really cool. It was nice.
It was so nice.
It was totally different, and we're not used to doing things like that.
Yeah.
But we went out of our little comfort zone, out of our shells a little bit, and experienced some new things. I'm tired. I'm paying the price. I'm exhausted.
We didn't go to bed until after 1.
Yes, it was a very long night, and then we're doing it all over again tonight. So it's been a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, if you're in the U.S. of A., enjoyed your 4th of July celebrating with fire. I know many parts of the country. There it is. No fireworks. Even if fireworks were allowed previously, this year it's been so dry in a lot of states that they have banned fireworks, and it looks like people are listening, which I respect. That's pretty awesome, because you don't want to be setting fields on fire just for a silly 5 minutes of fun.
Yeah, and you know what? No fireworks, no problem, because we got the World Cup.
Exactly.
We've been watching it nonstop.
My gosh.
It's so good.
We are addicted this World Cup every 4 years.
Yeah.
This time around, it has been just in our house nonstop. Maddie wakes up every morning and says, Dad, what time's soccer on?
I know.
What time's soccer on?
We just watched Norway beat Brazil, which
gosh.
was incredible.
So good. That Haaland is
so good.
Beast.
So good. But
he is unbelievable. So anyways, we've been watching that. If you don't care, I apologize, but World Cup has been amazing.
Yeah.
We cannot wait to continue watching that and enjoying the festivities. All right, let's get into this week's episode. We are going to keep it to news. We're going to keep it short and sweet for you guys. I know it is the smack dab the middle of the summer, and so everyone's got a lot going on, us included. And you probably don't have a ton of time to sit and listen to podcasts. So we're going to make it easy for you this week. Keep it short, get you the news that you need to know, and then get you out of here and off on your day. So let's get into it. Before I do jump in, though, I do want to it didn't make the official news list because it's technically not news because we don't know what's going on. I don't want to assume a ton of things, and that's not really news, right? I want to make sure we're telling not the truth, but factual things.
Right.
And not consider it a news story if I'm just it's conjecture, right? But the Pirates of the Caribbean animatronic that everyone was up in arms about that we talked last week, if you didn't listen to that or you're not aware, living under a rock, I will very quickly explain. They replaced a classic character, which not really a character, it was just a skeleton that was sitting there, but it lent itself to the story, and they replaced it with this projection animatronic that no one really liked, to be honest. Very few people actually enjoyed this thing. I wasn't very passionate about it, but whatever. People didn't like it. And as of yesterday, so as of the 4th of July, people rode this attraction, and it is back to a skeleton head.
No.
So I don't know. This does not sound like Disney, because they get criticism over a lot of things, and they keep it. They stick to it, and people forget about it, and they move on. I don't know if the criticism was this strong that they chose to go back to a skeleton head, or I think this is more likely the case, it's broken. And this is what the B mode looks like. This is what it looks like when the projection is not working. It's larger than the last skeleton. The head's much larger. I think it's literally a cap they put over the animatronic head to cover it up.
Still not a good look, though.
Still not a great look. So it only lasted a week. If this is true, if they're reverting back to, kind of an old school statuette, animatronic, whatever you want to call it, and not a projection thing, it only lasted 1 week.
Well, I guess time will tell.
We'll find out. I guess we'll find out in the next few days as of the time of this recording. But as of now, it is back to just a skeleton head, not the fancy new technology. So keep your eyes open for that, your ears to the ground to see what happens with that animatronic over in Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support is where you can find out more information about that. We would love to have you over there. It's linked in the episode description. You can click on that or go to markethousepodcast.com/support, and you can join us over there for fun shenanigans. We've got some extra bonus content over there, and it is a fantastic, fantastic way to support the show. We also have reviews, and we like them. When you leave good ones, we'll read them. 5-star.
We're going to read them either way, but
5-star ratings on both platforms and a written review over on Apple. So Spotify and Apple allow the ratings, and Apple's the only one that allows you to write something nice, and we would so appreciate it. We will read it on the show and be forever grateful.
Yeah, we've also seen a couple ratings come in over on Apple, so thank you so much for those who have done so.
It doesn't tell us who does that, so thank you, whoever did that.
Yeah,
that also means a lot. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the news. All right, for our first news story, we are headed over to the wonderful world of Disneyland. The most...
Dun-dun-dun.
Oh my God, I almost called it the most magical place on Earth. It's the happiest place on Earth.
It's happiest and magical.
Yeah. So here we are on the West Coast, happiest place on Earth. On the East Coast, you have the honor of being the most magical place on Earth, but we're going to take the crown of happiest. Disneyland celebrated their 1 billionth guest. You heard that right, with the B, their billionth guest.
Okay, am I the only person that feels like that already happened?
No, that's a lot
There's
of people.
so many people that go to Disneyland, though. Like, you think that they would have hit that a long time ago.
You have to understand, there are
I get it.
probably coming on 8 billion people on this Earth.
I know.
An eighth of them have visited Disneyland.
But in my mind, though, it kind of feel like maybe they would have already hit that a long time ago.
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm just thinking of them making billions of dollars.
Okay, I think, that's exactly it. We're so inundated now we've got a trillionaire walking this earth now. We're so used to large numbers and hearing big, the U.S. deficit is this amount, and this person is worth 300 billion, this person's worth 800 billion.
Maybe that's what it was.
We're so used to these big numbers that a billion now sounds like which is really sad. It doesn't sound like a lot. Mm-hmm. And so... anyways, that's why it may seem like that to you. Yeah. But 1 billion is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. So anyways, they welcomed their billionth guest, and it happened to be an 8-year-old celebrating his birthday.
So cute.
I think his name is Andres Robles, or Andres Robles. I'm assuming it's Robles. Was celebrating his 8th birthday with his parents when Disney surprised him with the honor of being the 1 billionth guest. They had all the characters up there celebrating at the train station. The family helped unveil the new population sign on top of the station as well. So, it says Disneyland, and it says population 1 billion now. So it's this big, shiny new sign. It's pretty flipping cool. And the Robles family was also given a VIP tour guide for the rest of the day. That is a welcome surprise.
That's amazing.
So 1 billion guests at the Disneyland Resort. All right, for our second news story, we are staying over here on the West Coast in a very surprising announcement from Disney. I will say this is kind of old news. By the time this comes out, it's nearly 2 weeks old. But of course, it was announced right after our episode came out, so we didn't talk about it. But I feel like we need to touch on it and discuss kind of the implications of what this means. Disneyland has announced an evening ticket deal, and this is wild.
It's so crazy.
It's pretty crazy. I will say it's like the value proposition. It sounds like a fantastic deal, but then when you actually do it by the hour, it's okay. Like it's good for people that are like maybe limited on time, especially locals who just want to go for the evening. But I will say, like, people coming in from out of town, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But let me get into it before I talk about it any further. Disneyland has introduced a $59 ticket that's good only for evenings. They get you into Disneyland at 7 p.m. and California Adventure at 5 p.m. So it's technically the last 5 hours of operating hours. These tickets are good from July 12th to August 5th, Sundays through Wednesdays. So they are clearly trying to plug a hole, which is very low attendance in the summer. I guess it has been like you can see tumbleweeds going down Main Street. It has been so empty.
This happened last year too.
Yes.
Remember during
So I think maybe people are avoiding like bad weather, which has actually been kind of nice over here recently. I can't, is SoCal been nice too?
Yeah, like high 80s, which again, that feels warm, but like.
But relative to some summers?
What it's supposed to, it's usually in the like mid to high 90s.
Yeah, it could get really toasty. Yeah. So that's pretty pleasant. And so I don't know if people have a program that avoids summers at all costs now, or also, I mean, we'll get into it later, but this may be a sign too of like spending slowing.
It's expensive to go to Disneyland.
It's very, very expensive. So the summer crowds, like I said, have been unusually low. So I think Disney's trying to get ahead of this and maybe fill in some kind of spotty attendance. I don't know if we'll be taking advantage of this. Again, it's a unique deal. I don't think they've ever offered this ever in the past, but I don't know if I'm going to be jumping to go down there only for the evenings, especially with a little one who her bedtime is like when it's good to go into the park.
I think we should do it.
I don't think we should.
Love it. She'd be like, woo. She'd be so excited. I think it's also know that they're offering this because, like you said, local or not, it's a really good way to get into the park. Even though it's on a full day, it still gives people the option to get into Disneyland for a cheaper price, which I love.
Sure, absolutely. So. Affordability is always going to be a win for people, especially when it comes to Disneyland. I don't think they'll ever lower prices.
For sure.
They'll just get creative.
An opportunity.
Yep,
exactly.
And find ways to get you in there for less money. All right, and our final news story takes us over to Disney Cruise Line, our personal favorite thing in the entire world. This was pretty crazy. Speaking of saving money, speaking of recession indicators, Disney Cruise Line, we all know as Disney fans, if you're a rabid Disney fan like we are, you know that they don't release discounts. I mean, it's rare, right? They'll do packages and stuff, but they'll never do just a straight up like discount, especially Disney Cruise Line. It has been known, it is the exception to the rule that you actually get the cheapest price when you book on opening day. When they release the itineraries, you will pay the least amount that day versus waiting to see if a ship is like going to be only half full and then you can take advantage of a deal like all the other cruise lines does it that way. Definitely not Disney. That script has been kind of flipped this year.
Yeah, and on top of what you just said, you are almost guaranteed to not get a discount on a holiday-themed sailing.
Yeah, absolutely, because they've been filling up. Now, I think, again, let me explain before I get into guessing what's going on. Let's talk about the news story. They have announced a crazy deal that we actually personally took advantage of. We didn't think we would. I decided to hop online and just kind of poke around and see what was there. But anyways, it surprised us to say the least. You can save up to $500 per person on select sailings. You have to book by August 30th. And these sailings, it's good for sailings October 1st through December 31st. So if you're looking for a last minute getaway in Disney Cruise Line, it's good for San Diego sailings and Port Canaveral sailings. I don't think any of the other ports it applies to.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Good to know.
I think it's only good for the Disney Treasure, the Disney Fantasy, which are both out of Port Canaveral, and then the Disney Wonder, which is out of San Diego right now. And then these are the savings you can expect for this deal. Select 7-night sailings, you can save up to $500 per person with a veranda stateroom, up to $400 per person with an ocean view, and then up to $300 per person for an inside stateroom. And then for sailing 6 nights or less, you can save $250 per person in a veranda room, $200 per person in an ocean view room, and then finally $150 per person for an inside stateroom.
But with that said, the fact that you can get a discount that great for the Disney Treasure is wild.
Yeah, 2-year-old ship. That's pretty crazy.
Like that didn't happen with the Wish when it came out.
So let me get into what I'm thinking is going on. Number one, I think we're really seeing the evidence that spending is slowing down. I will say personally, the amount of emails I get in my inbox of retailers doing crazy deals that weren't just a year ago, it has like tripled. Like I get so many emails now of like discounts here, sale here, sale here.
End of season sale.
Yes.
June 1st.
Yeah, exactly. And they're already like previewing October, like Halloween things.
Yeah.
So that's been wild. And then you're seeing Disneyland offer this evening deal. You're seeing Disney Cruise Line offer up to $1,500 off sailings, which they never discount things. So I'm starting to see a trend here of like, hey, things are tight. Things are really expensive right now, and families are probably not feeling fantastic about the old pocketbook.
Right.
And so they're probably, planning less vacations. So that makes perfect sense to me. And then also, you've also seen Disney's inventory increase. So you're seeing them, every year or two, they're launching a new ship. And that's been the case for the last few years. And so I think they're starting to maybe realize, oh man, it's getting harder to fill these up.
The supply and demand,
at the premium that we've been charging. I think maybe families are starting to be like, yo, no, we're not doing it.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, a Disney vacation is not a necessity.
No,
other things
not.
are. So.
Yeah, it's the first thing they'd probably be cut out of the budget. So Anyways, I think we're starting to see slowing, and that's only a good thing for consumers because I think prices will come down and maybe we'll come back to reality a little bit and not the crazy elevated pricing that we've experienced in the past. I don't think they will be less than other cruise lines. I think they'll always
they'll always have that premium.
The Disney premium, which we've all come to expect with the parks, but I think it won't be as like stratospherically, like the delta won't be as large.
Right.
Yeah, between like pricing out a Royal Caribbean cruise versus Disney. So I think they're going to come back down a little bit and we can experience less cost, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's expensive, man.
One can dream. I may be eating my words here in the next month or like, just kidding. This is a one-time deal.
Even if that's the case right now, they are doing that. So it's good to see because again, more families will be able to take advantage if they're able to. I mean, again, you can never go wrong with a deal, especially when it's associated with Disney.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, that's the end of the news.
Yeah.
Not much going on. We'll keep it short and sweet. We will see you next week with another news story, another episode.
Well, I'm sure there'll be news next week.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us over on Instagram and Threads at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the park and exciting news and announcements. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Both are a huge help to the show. We also have a Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support is where you can find out more information about that. We would love to have you join us over there. Remember to use our Getaway Today link for your future trip bookings. Check out the episode details for that link and use code MarketHouse10 to save an additional $10 on your vacation. Join us next week for another episode. It's been fun. It's been grand. It's been filled with DCL deals, Disneyland crowds, and billion peoples.
Bye.